I will continue to admit them. So first of all, welcome. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of WIPO and UNESCO, we are warmly welcoming you to this closing session of the IP Management Clinic in the green technology sector. So I'm Roman. I'm going to be your moderator today. Over the past months, this clinic has brought together innovative green technology companies, intellectual property experts, and institutional partner to strengthen the IP management capabilities and support business growth through strategic use of intellectual property. So today's session is an opportunity to celebrate the achievements of you companies and also hear reflection from experts. To begin, I am honored to invite our distinguished representative from WIPO and ISQA to deliver their opening remarks. So our first speaker is Mr. Kunihiko Fushimi, Director and FIT Japan IP Global Manager, International Classification and Standard Division, Infrastructure and Platform Sector at WIPO. Kuni, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Romania. And good afternoon, everyone, distinguished participants. It is my great honor to join this closing ceremony of the IP Management Clinic for the Green Technology sector in the Arab region on behalf of Fund Trust Japan Industrial Property Global, FIT Japan. This IP Management Clinic marks the second edition jointly organized by WIPO and the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Western Asia, UNESCO, following its successful first edition in 2024. FIT Japan IP Global is very happy to have supported this program through editions. Let me take this opportunity to briefly introduce what FIT Japan IP Global is, because I think most of you might not so familiar with what we are, and then why FIT Japan have supported this activity. FIT Japan IP Global is a voluntary contribution by the government of Japan as a top donor operated by WIPO in cooperation with the Japan Patent Office. Since its launch in 1987, it has supported more than 120 countries for over past 35 years. While it started as funds for Asia, now it reaches countries across the globe, including Arab region. Today, FIT IP Global aims to achieve 4 objectives: establishing self-sustaining IP ecosystems, forming the global IP network, deepening understanding of IP, and contributing to the SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. Now, why has FIT Japan supported this activity in the Arab region? It relates to the first objective, establishing self-sustaining IP ecosystems. Self-sustaining IP ecosystems cannot come true only with a robust IP framework alone. They need vibrant players who utilize IP to create new opportunities. IP makes much sense when it changes people's lives. Japan, the donor of the funds, strongly believes, based on its experiences, that SME is the essential players for the vibrant IP ecosystems and key drivers of the innovation, creativity, and economic growth. The Arab region has long been a valued partner of Japan, including activities under WIPO FIT Japan, such as regional patent drafting program in Arabic region and the development of disk network in the region. I understand that this APMC focused on green SMEs and startups in the Arab region. Across the region, national development strategies are placing increasing emphasis on green technologies, renewable energy, and sustainable innovation as drivers of economic growth and resilience. SMEs have a key role to play in this transformation by developing solutions to environmental challenges through their creativity and entrepreneurial spirit. Green innovation is not only the solution to social challenges, but also new business opportunities. In this context, effective IP management is essential to protect and leverage their innovations, turning creative ideas into both commercial success. I strongly believe that the knowledge and insights gained through this IPMC will help participants use IP strategically to advance green innovation and grow their businesses. Today, I look forward to hearing about your experiences with IP in a variety of green technology fields, from waste to fertilizer solutions that enhance farm productivity, to sustainable construction materials made from waste, as well as renewable energy and regenerative agricultural solutions. Time is running, so last but not least, let me convey our sincere thanks to UNESCO and to all those involved in organizing this IPMC. And if I may, a special thanks to our colleagues of IP for Business Division in WIPO who gave us this great opportunity and who have actually made this happen. I'll stop here with sincerely hoping that this IPMC will become a turning point in your journey with IP. Fit Japan IP Global continues to be with the Arab region and you. I thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your inspiring remark and for explanation also for the companies and experts. I think it was very insightful. Now I'm happy to welcome Mrs. Joelle Jesbeck, Acting Director of the ESCO Technology Center. Joelle, you have the floor.
Thank you, Roman. Good afternoon, everyone. Before I begin, I would like to acknowledge that we had originally hoped to hold this event much earlier. Like many initiatives across our region, our plans were affected by the developments of the first 2 quarters. So while it took longer than expected to bring everyone together, I'm very pleased that we are here today to celebrate the achievements of this cohort of the IPMC. When we look across the Arab region today, one thing is very clear. Innovation is happening everywhere. And to reiterate what our fellow speaker Fushimi just mentioned, we see entrepreneurs developing solutions for water management, renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, recycling, green manufacturing, and many other areas. Some of the most exciting businesses emerging in our region today are coming from the green economy. But innovation alone is not enough. A great idea is only the starting point. To grow, businesses need access to skills, networks, markets, financing, technology, and the right ecosystem of support around them. This is exactly how we view our work at the ESCO Technology Center. We do not see SMEs and startups as needing one service or one program. We see them as moving through a journey. At different stages of that journey, they need different types of support. Sometimes it is digital transformation. Sometimes it is e-commerce. Sometimes it is access to partners or investors. And sometimes it is understanding how to protect and leverage the innovation they have worked so hard to create. That is where this clinic comes in. For us, the IP Management Clinic is an important piece of a much bigger picture. It helps innovative businesses strengthen one of the assets that often receives the least attention, yet can create significant long-term value. This is why our partnership with WIPO has been so valuable. Together, we have been able to provide participating projects not only with knowledge, but with direct guidance from experts who understand both intellectual property and the realities of running a business. Today, I will leave the discussion of the program's impact to the SMEs and experts who will speak after me. Their experiences will provide a much better reflection of the clinic than any statistics I could share now. What I would like to focus on instead is what comes next. One of the commitments we made from the beginning was to ensure that this clinic did not end with the final coaching session, but rather opened the door to further opportunities for participating businesses. I am therefore very pleased to announce that selected participants from this cohort will have the opportunity to take part in the 4th Arab SME Summit, which will take place from 18 to 20 November 2026 in Baghdad, Iraq, in partnership with the Ministry of Planning of Iraq. The summit will bring together entrepreneurs, SMEs, policymakers, business support organizations, investors, and ecosystem partners from across the Arab region, creating valuable opportunities for networking, partnerships, visibility, and business growth. We invite all interested participants to apply through the link that my colleague will share in the chat shortly. ESCO and WIPO, in consultation with the experts, will then review the submitted applications, taking into consideration participants' engagement throughout the clinic, as well as which businesses are likely to benefit most from the opportunities offered by the summit. Finally, I would like to thank WIPO for its partnership and continued collaboration, the experts for sharing their knowledge and guidance, and of course, the participating SMEs and startups for their commitment throughout the program. Thank you all for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Joel, for your encouraging words and for ESCO's important partnership in making this initiative possible. Now I'm happy to welcome Mr. Guy Pessard, Director of the IP for Business Division in WIPO. Guy, you have the floor.
Thank you, Roman, and good day, everyone. Dear participants, dear experts, dear colleagues, dear Joel, dear Kuni. Roman was very kind, as always, to prepare for me very comprehensive and articulated opening remarks. But with your permission, Roman, I will put them aside and I'll just speak from the heart. Because yesterday we had a briefing at WIPO for the group coordinators and IP offices and also functionaries at capitals. And one of the things that we shared with them is that we've already held more than 100 IP management clinics and one-day IP workshop for startups. All of them are dear to our hearts. All of them are excellent. But the collaboration with UNESCO, the Technology Center within UNESCO, I think that this is one of the IPMCs that is really one of the jewel in our crowns. It is just the second IPMC that we are holding together, but it's really a very good example to the impact of this program, and more importantly, to the impact when there is a collaboration between practically three entities that complement each other and have a unique impact when they work together. In this context, the collaboration with UNESCO is extremely important. I can straightforwardly say that among the work that we are doing in the MENA region, this is one of the most impactful collaborations. It's real work on the ground. You see the influence on the participating entrepreneurs and SMEs, the way they begin the clinic, the way they finalize the clinic. And along with it, Kuni mentioned Fit Japan IP Global. And I always say, and I will say again, that Fit Japan IP Global is not just a funder. It's not just about obtaining the resources, but it's about the way together we are able to come up with concrete priorities and an agenda that really transforms the nature of innovation ecosystem work across different regions. And I think this is just the beginning of our joint journey. Both UNESCO and WIPO have more ambitious long-term plans, including the establishment of a joint IP business center in which we can practically expand and deepen the influence that we have on SMEs in the region. Going to this specific second edition of the IPMC with UNESCO, the topic that was chosen is green innovation and sustainable entrepreneurship. And I think that one cannot overstate, how would I say, how acute this topic is becoming from one day to another. Time is running up, and the importance, fundamental need to come up with solutions is practically compelling all across the globe. Now, solutions in this area, at the end of the day, they begin and end mostly with innovation. And we've seen it across the different participants in this specific clinic. Now, innovation cannot operate alone. Practically, in order to generate impactful solutions to aspects such as climate change, you don't need just innovation, you also need markets, because markets are practically the ones that are driving innovation. Markets are practically the one that can best identify solutions that have a value. So it has to be a combination between innovation and markets. And at the end of the day, innovation cannot operate without the IP system. The IP system is practically a key pillar in order to operate an efficient, robust, successful innovation ecosystem. And the stakes are high. The thing that I think we need to emphasize that within this area, at the end of the day, there are big risks, there are big opportunities, and both of them are affected by the ability of companies to master the toolbox of IP. IP at the end of the day is a mitigator of risks. It's a maximizer of opportunities. And this is exactly where the IP Management Clinic comes into play. The IP Management Clinic is a program that is aimed to provide entrepreneurs, SMEs at their very early stages, the skill set to better understand how IP relates to their own specific enterprise, to identify their intangible assets, to protect them, and then to leverage them across their firm's performance. And the last element that I want to emphasize is that this is not just about knowledge. It's not just about knowing about the IP system. Yesterday, again, in that event that we had at WIPO, we were rightfully asked, what is the difference between the WIPO Academy that provides such a wonderful portfolio of courses and offerings in the context of IP, and what we do at the IP for Business division? To be honest, I was surprised by the question, and it took me a minute to think about it, but then I understood the difference. And the difference is that we also provide knowledge about IP because that's the basis that everything sits on. But what we do in the clinics and what the experts did with all of the participating companies is not just about knowledge provision. It's about very practical skill sets, how to implement in real life scenarios the potential that IP provides the companies. So if I recall correct, in this program, we had approximately 30 companies in various dimensions of what is clustered under green technologies. I heard from Roman and from Mathilde how successful the experience was. On top of the one-on-one mentoring sessions, we also brought the companies together for specialized workshops on specific topics that are relevant for their business developments, areas like green patent strategies, technology transfer, investor readiness, and more. And today is practically the opportunity to exchange about what took place, to take stock, and also to look ahead. So I wish us all a very successful session. And just like I think Kuni said a few minutes ago, or I think it was Joel, this is not the end of our joint collaboration, but practically just the beginning of a journey. And we at WIPO very much look forward to follow up a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, across all the graduates of the IPMCs held together with you and ESQA, and I'm confident that we will see their impact on the region. So with this, I give the floor back to Roman.
Thank you so much, Guy, for your remarks. So now let's move on to the highlight of today's program, which is hearing directly from the companies, from you. I will invite a few companies to briefly introduce their business and share some of the key takeaway from the participation of the program. First of all, I thought it would be nice to share a little video that was done for one of our companies. I think, okay, let me see if I can share the sound. Just as an introduction, let me know when you see the screen. Yeah, I think it's good. with this, now I can share the floor to, oh, excuse me, I think I stopped sharing. Hanan Ismail from Garbalizer, are you here?
Yes, hello, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Thanks for you. You will share the screen, right?
Yes, I think it's coming now.
Yes.
I'm trying to put it in full. Sorry. Okay.
Okay. So I will say like 1, 2, 3. It will move for next. So hello.
Okay.
From 4 years. Hello, I'm Hanan Ismail. I'm founder and the general manager of Garbalizer. From 5 years ago, many problems were happening at the same time, related, and most of the Lebanese people where these farmers suffer from heavy use of chemical fertilizer and the imported chemical fertilizer, which were damaging the soil, the environment, and our health. Slide number 2. That is exactly why Garbalizer was born. No, it is the last slide.
I'm sorry. Ooh, okay.
Don't worry. Also more, this one, yes. So that's exactly why Garbalizer was born. We created Garbalizer from garbage to fertilizer. Our goal is to turn every bit of organic biomass into a useful, impactful solution. Slide 3, please. So our solution has 3 main products. The first one is Hadum. Hadum is a smart bio-waste bin that collect and prepare food left over. It's help people to sort from source their material. The second product is FIAB. FIAB is a factory and decentralized concept that converts this food left over into Samadi. Samadi, the final product, is a liquid plant growth promoter. The farmer can use it for their crop and can decrease their invoice or their receipt by more than 30 to 40%. And this already affect in reduce cost, reduce carbon, and reduce dependence on imported input. So it's not only about benefit from food leftover and converted it to useful material, it's about to use local material to produce local product. Slide 4, please. So here we joined the program because we had important question. How we can protect our know-how behind the 3 products? How can we protect our brand? And how can we work with partner, distributor, and future licensing without losing control? Slide 5. Through the program, our understanding of IP changed. We learned that IP is not only about patent. It can include trade secret, trademark, design, contract, SOP, and more. For Garbalizer, trade secret become very important, especially for our formula, process, step, and internal know-how. Next slide, please. Today, we see IP as a part of our business model. It helps us protect what gives value to Garbalizer. It also helps us build safer partnership and prepare for future growth through product sales, licensing, and franchising. The main lesson for us is to protect first, then grow in a controlled way. Finally, the last slide. To close Garbalizer, Garbalizer is building a sustainable model that turns local biomass into local agriculture value. I would like to thank this program, WIPO, ESCWA, IPMC, program, and a special thanks to Mr. Sufyan, and especially for Rosena, who supported us and worked very closely with us during a lot of sessions, a lot of questions, maybe 100 of questions. That super thanks, because have a passion to understand and be very to deliver the answer for all our questions. And really, this program helps us understand how to protect our innovation and build a stronger and safer collaboration. So big thanks. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hanan. That was great. Wait, let me stop sharing. Thank you so much. It's very nice to have the giveaway from the companies. It helps us understand. It helps us seeing really the impact of the program. So thank you so much. Now I would like to
Thank you.
give the floor to Gina Asun from YY region. Are you here?
Hi, hello everyone. So I will be speaking on behalf of Rena. She's also listening the call. So good afternoon everyone, and thank you to WIPO and ESQUA. I'm Hassan Jafar, the co-founder and CEO of YY Region Company, a renewable energy company which is based in Beirut, Lebanon. We work at the nexus of energy, water and food. Our flagship product, which is called Regenerate, is a container solution that offers energy as a service to rural communities, especially targeting the farmers and agricultural cooperatives that they cannot pay an initial investment or heavy upfront investment, and we are offering them a solar solution that they pay us as a rental business model instead of the initial investment. We have also developed other solar renewable energy also solutions that can turn also farm waste into energy. So when we applied first to the program, we came with one uncomfortable question. We are an engineering company with no patents, and we have these all solutions at the company. So does that mean we have no IP? And are we exposed to other regions and other companies as well? Before the program, my thinking was simple. So I thought before the program that IP is equivalent to patents. And since patents felt expensive and like handling over a blueprint, our strategy was to keep quiet, just work on our solution, expand in the local market, and that's it. So we assumed that staying silent kept our method safe. We had no trademarks on our own brand names, and we were placing equipment on customer sites with nothing to stop someone from renting a unit just to take it apart. So that's where the clinic changed everything. So first we got accepted with our WIPO expert, Mr. Muhammad. We built a strategy he called a fortress and moat. So the first lesson was for a process and data company like ours, trade secrets can be stronger than patents. So basically we have a trade secrets and a mix of secrets internally in the company. So they never expire and you never publish them online. But secrecy only holds up if you can prove you protected it. So we were now building the vault registers, access controls, disclosure logs, and we have our internal local system, which turning instinct into a real asset. The second lesson also we've learned, which was also reframed our whole business model. So because we rent out these solar equipment instead of selling it, we kept ownership. So now we can contractually forbid reverse engineering and tampering. So our service model isn't just a revenue, it's a legal mode. And we learned to act deliberately, design protection for our racking, trademarks for our brands before we expand into the Gulf region. Especially this is our next phase of expansion, and the freedom to operate checks as the sector gets crowded. So we left at the end of the program, we left with a clear 180-day roadmap and a new way to talk about our own value and our trademark and our solution. And with investors now, defensibility is part of the story. So thank you everyone, and you just didn't help us to know how to protect what we have built for the past 5 years. You also helped us to understand what it's worth. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Indeed, it's the same. We're wishing you the best. We love to hear those stories, and also exactly concretely what you did for the company. Thank you so much. Our next company is Saif Eddin from Zelig Invent. I'm sorry, I'm not sure if he joined the session, but he left a little text for me to read. So I'm checking the participant. I will read quickly what he said because he wanted to show the impact as well of the program. So okay, here we go. First of all, he said, thank you very much, and they're happy to share a short testimonial. So through the IP management clinic, Zelig Invent had the opportunity to look at intellectual property not only as a legal topic, but as a strategic tool for growth, protection, and impact. Before joining the program, their main focus was on developing the green construction materials, recycling process, and micro-factory model. They knew that their innovation had value, but they did not fully understand how to structure and protect this value through a clear IP strategy. So the clinic helped them realize that Zelig Invent is not only producing recycled construction blocks or inspired product, but also building a wider innovation model, combining technology, circular economy, social impact, and Moroccan cultural heritage. So the session and the final report helped them identify several key IP assets, including their plastic to sand machine, a hollow interlocking block molding system, and a block composition and manufacturing process, a micro factory model, trademark design, training content, and know-how. So what changed the most for them is the way they see IP as part of their business model. It's not just about protecting their idea from being copied, but also building confidence with investor and partner, preparing for licensing opportunities and scaling through micro factories, and making sure that Moroccan innovation and heritage are recognized and respected internationally. So this program gives them a practical roadmap and help them understand what should be protected through patents, what should remain confidential as trade secret, and how trademark, industrial design, and copyright can support their growth. So for a green technology social enterprises like Zelig Event, this kind of guidance was extremely valuable, specifically as they look to expand their impact in Morocco and beyond. So they thank you, WIPO, EXQUA, and the whole IPMC team, the experts who supported them through this journey. So this was a unique opportunity, they said, and that this strengthened their vision and to prepare the company for the next stage of growth. So this session is recorded, so I will also send them to respond to thank you and to write this testimony for us. And now I don't know if Georges Youssef is here from Agro Cedrus. Cedrus, maybe. Sorry for my pronunciation. Georges, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
I'll give you the floor. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Georges Youssef, co-founder and CEO of Agro Cedrus, a Lebanese agro-food and agro-innovation company specialized in carob and other sustainable agricultural products. At Agro Cedrus, our mission is to promote climate-resilient agriculture and create value from crops that require very little water, particularly the carob tree. Today, we have developed more than 10 carob-based products and are collaborating with universities and research institutions in Lebanon and abroad to unlock the full potential of this remarkable tree. We applied to the WIPO Intellectual Property Management Clinic because our company is becoming increasingly innovation-driven. As we expand our product portfolio, collaborate with research institutions, and develop new processing method and formulation, we realized that intellectual property would become a critical component of our long-term growth strategy. Before joining the program, my understanding of intellectual property was mainly focused on trademarks and patents. However, I had limited knowledge about how intellectual property could be strategically integrated into business development, partnerships, innovation management, and commercialization. One of the main challenges we faced was identifying what intellectual property assets actually existed within Agro Cedrus. We had developed unique know-how in carob processing, product formulation, quality control, sourcing practices, and research collaborations, but we had not yet established a structured framework to protect these assets. We also needed guidance regarding confidentiality, ownership of intellectual property arising from collaborations, and future trademarks protection in export markets. The sessions with the expert were extremely valuable because they helped us understand the intellectual property is not only about patents. We learned that our most important assets today are our proprietary know-how, processing method, quality control practices, and trade secret. The experts also helped us understand the importance of confidentiality agreements, internal protection procedures, trademark strategy, and intellectual property governance. As a direct result of the program, we had started reviewing our approach to confidentiality and partnerships. We are working toward implementing no-disclosures agreements before entering into new collaborations, strengthening our trade secret protection measures, and planning future trademark registration for AgroCedrus and our product portfolio. We are also paying much greater attention to intellectual property ownership and contractual clauses when working with universities, consultants, and strategic partners. Today, AgroCedrus is much better positioned from an intellectual property perspective. We now view intellectual property as a strategic business asset rather than a legal formality. The program has helped us build a roadmap that supports our ambition to develop a regional ecosystem around carob and aromatic herbs, including innovation partnerships, new product development, licensing opportunities, and future expansion into international markets. I would like to sincerely thank WIPO, ESQA, the organizers, and all experts involved in this program. This guidance we received has provided AgroCedrus with practical tools and a clear strategy to protect our innovations while supporting our future growth. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your testimony. It was very nice. We love also to see the diversity of the companies in the same industry. It's very interesting to see their journey. Our last speaker for companies is Hamed Assanain. I'm sorry for my pronunciation once again, and he's from Croptimus. Are you here? It's okay. I also received a little text with key takeaways. I saw him before, that's why I'm waiting a little bit. Okay, well, let me read quickly what they said. So, Croptimus is an Egyptian agri-tech startup focused on converting agriculture waste into customized biochar and activated carbon through their proprietary pyrolysis technology. They applied to the clinic because they grew and became thinking more seriously about commercialization, partnership, technology transfer, and they recognized the need to better understand how to protect their innovation and structure it in a way that supports long-term business growth. So before joining the program, their knowledge of IP was practical but limited. So they understood that IP was important, specifically for protecting their technology and differentiating their business. But they did not have yet a fully structured approach to licensing, ownership, confidentiality, or transfer of technical know-how. So they knew IP mattered, but needed help translating that awareness into a clear strategy. So at the start of the project, their main IP-related concern were how to define exactly what should be protected, what should be licensed to partner, and how to safeguard their core technical knowledge while still being able to collaborate and commercialize effectively. So they needed also guidance on ownership of improvement, the scope of rights, and how to present their technology in a professional and legally sound way for potential partners. So the session with the experts were extremely helpful in giving them a more structured and strategic understanding of IP. They helped move beyond general ideas and focus on the practical element that matters in the real business negotiation, such as confidentiality, scope of rights, ownership of know-how, and the importance of clearly defined terms. So one of the most valuable lessons was understanding that IP is not only about protection, but also about how to create value through well-designed licensing and transfer model. As a result of the program, they took concrete steps to refine how we present and commercialize their technology. So they developed a clear licensing model that includes upon fees, royalties, minimum royalties, technical support, and they also worked in a more complete technology transfer package that includes engineering drawings, process parameters, quality assurance procedure, and operator training. So this helped them move from simply having a strong technology to having a more professional and transferable commercial offering. So today, Croptimus is in a much stronger position with respect to IP. So they now approach it with a strategy asset that support their growth, partnerships, and investor readiness. So the program had a meaningful impact on their strategy by helping them think more clearly about how to protect their innovation, how to share it responsibly, and how to structure in a way that creates value both for Croptimus and the partner. So they wanted to share a concrete example of this impact is their licensing structure for facility models, where they linked the commercial terms to the scale of deployment and included technical support as part of the package. So another example is their focus on customized biochar formulation for specific soil and crop needs, which made it specifically important for them to think carefully about what knowledge remains confidential and how improvements are handled over time. So overall, the clinic gave them not only a better understanding, but also a greater confidence. It helped them approach IP in a more mature and practical and business-oriented way that has already strengthened how they think about commercialization, collaboration, and the future growth of Croptimus. So once again, since this session is recorded, I want to say thank you to them and this testimonial. I think this is very nice because we keep hearing about confidence in front of investors, about also the fact that you can change your point of view of IP, not only in a legal way, but in a more as a business asset. And this is really the goal of this clinic. So thank you so much, everyone, for your testimony, and we loved to hear them. It's very important for us. Now we can move to in case any other company want to take the floor as an improvisation, we can also raise your hand and don't be shy. After that, we will hear a bit more from our experts. Okay, we will hear from our expert right now. First feedback and a general feedback also for all the experts is Mrs. Hosanna Nabatsi. So thank you so much for being here with us. I'm going to share your slide and I give you the floor.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yes, it's now there. Good afternoon, everyone, and it's my pleasure to share the expert perspective for the program. I'm so happy to hear that the majority of the SMEs that I've already presented here resonate with what I also will share today, and it shows that it's a common issue that all SMEs are facing. And what is actually intriguing and interesting is the shift from the initial mindset and where they are right now. So I would like to go please to the slide where we just talk about the agenda itself. So I'll talk about what was the initial mindset of the SMEs that I worked with. And as I said, this is very common, and other SMEs will also see that this is similar. as well as the challenges that they encountered prior to the clinic, how expert support changed their perspective, and how the companies are positioned today. And I also give a case example of EcoHub. Unfortunately, Iman has just left due to an urgent matter, but I will present their case specifically and how they were assisted through the clinic. Next slide, please. So the initial mindset, as you would know, with any SME is that they would have the innovation. So the innovation is not a problem with an SME. They do innovate every day. But the problem when it came to IP was that they didn't recognize that they had IP that can be protected. There were issues regarding patenting and trademarks as the only formal ways of protecting their innovations. But with the knowledge that we had, we figured out that there are actually other practical tools, such as, of course, copyright, where you don't have to register, but you can put a corporate notice or corporate symbols, and also how they can leverage negotiations through agreements. We've also talked already about NDAs and making sure that there's confidentiality when we're dealing with partners. So the reliance on informal trust-based partnerships was also an initial mindset that they had. SMEs don't have money, and they trust friends and they trust families and other colleagues. And then they will have informal partnerships, which had weak control when it comes to protecting the IP. So the initial mindset here was that we can trust colleagues, we can trust family, we can trust friends. That was the initial mindset, without thinking of how actually they can utilize IP to structure formal partnerships to protect their intellectual property. Another initial mindset that I want to highlight is that, as I mentioned, SMEs were creating value. And what actually lacked for them is the awareness of what is IP and how to use simple tools that are low-hanging fruits like copyrights and trademarks and trade secrets, because the biggest mindset was IP is very expensive to register and we don't have the money, and how do we actually do that without money? So that was the initial mindset. Next slide, please. So key challenges that they faced at the beginning, number one, was that they had unprotected core assets. So the know-how that they had, the processes, all the data, all this was at risk because, as I mentioned, informal partnerships. And you go ahead with signing, not even signing anything, but sharing information, core information, or not knowing how to govern IP within that agreement. So the core assets that they had as IP were not protected. And this was the biggest challenge because they needed to grow, they needed to scale. And how do you do that when you don't have IP that is protected? Another key challenge is unclear ownership and weak contracts in partnerships. And I want to talk about unclear ownership. I found that some of the SMEs were collaborating with other entities to develop, design, an invention, for example, software. And there was no formal partnership agreed on who is going to own this. And this is very critical because unless you agree on who is going to own this, there will be issues. And this was a challenge that they faced. How do we then go back to talk to our partners that we are working with on how we can actually protect or claim ownership of the software that you're developing for us? There was also a key challenge regarding exposure to brand imitation and misuse. And this is particularly related to trademarks because of the lack of understanding of trademarks, even to put the TM sign, for example. We had to discuss these things of how it is so easy for many of these services, processes that they have to be imitated, and you lose your IP. So that is also one of the key challenges. And all in all, this was posing a difficulty in how do they scale and how do they expand safely. And one of the things that they highlighted was the need to do the scaling part. But then if you don't have IP that is protected, your core assets are actually leaking. How do you do that safely? Next slide, please. So how did the clinic change the perspectives of the SMEs? So the first part I want to talk about is the shift to strategic IP. So rather than thinking of let's patent everything or we don't have money to patent anything, let's think through how we can actually use the different tools of intellectual property to strategically protect our assets. So this mindset shift was incredible because after one session, they could start getting it. And as you've heard today from the testimonials, you can really see that they're talking as if they have been doing this for a long time. They have the experience and expertise to understand and articulate IP in a clear way. So that was the biggest shift that they had. And the second issue is that the emphasis on trade secret was critical. And we talked about if you don't have money to patent everything, you have to think of other ways, trade secret being one of them. And because trade secrets do not require much money, if at all, the discussion was how do you leverage trade secrets to protect your core assets that you can actually keep as a secret until such a time when you can actually patent or you want to patent. So this emphasis was very critical for SMEs, knowing that they do not have money to go full throttle on patenting. So this increased awareness of protecting core assets through confidentiality and access controls was really critical. The third one was phased IP strategies. So we talked about the recognition that IP protection, first of all, should be prioritized, and second of all, should be aligned with the business stage and market expansion. So let's not do everything at the same time. Let's see what do we have to do now based on the stage of the business. And this is very critical for them to understand that although you don't have any protectable IP at the moment, you can actually phase how you protect your IP. So this mindset shift actually helped them to know that they can move forward in their business expansion slowly as they protect their IP. And another perspective that changed for them was that IP was now embedded in business decisions. So the fact that IP can be integrated into partnerships, scaling, product development, commercial strategy was critical for them. So it was no longer looked as an isolated legal tool, but one which they can actually use and embed in their business. At the end of the clinic, we saw that each SME had a tailored IP strategy roadmap to guide implementation. So moving forward, what do we do? And from my cohort, each one of them was able to understand what aspects they need to do moving forward. And I believe that they are doing that. And I'm going to show this as one of the key examples, the case studies that I will highlight today. Next slide, please. So right now, how they are positioned is that, number one, they have strengthened IP knowledge. And this is critical because Mr. Guy mentioned that, first of all, we do knowledge. And knowledge is what we give through this program when he was talking about the difference between this and the academy. So now SMEs have clear understanding of their IP assets. And they know what are the tools that are available for them to protect their IP. They also have ability to identify and prioritize and manage their intangible assets. So they know that from the inventions that we have, from the assets that we have, what can be protected by what. And having this knowledge is critical for them because it helps them move forward in a very strong position. And the second one was that practical IP roadmaps that were developed by the SMEs provide actionable next steps that are aligned with the business goals individually and their growth plans. There was also improved strategic positioning because the SMEs now are better equipped to make informed decisions on IP. So for example, if I partner with someone, how do I negotiate better? How do I scale safely? How do I expand to another market? And how do I factor in IP in the expansion? Next slide, please. So here I want to share a case example of a company called EcoHub. EcoHub is based in Lebanon. And two things that I want to highlight is that, first of all, this is a social enterprise. And usually when you look at IP, mainly the issue is about economic activity. We want to make money and profit, and how do we use IP to leverage that? But for social enterprises, the mission is different. The mission is social impact. And we heard initially from Mr. Fushimi that IP is important only when it reaches impact. And for green technologies, and especially for this particular case study, impact is exactly what they're doing because they are using circular economy model, integrating waste, collecting waste, and trading it using a currency to trade the West and empowering the community at the same time. They're operating at a hub where the community brings in the West, and they have developed an eco-currency, and there's a lab. This lab helps them to produce more products, which can actually help them with sustainability, because they're using the products that they are upcycling using the West to sell them. And we talked about design. How do you make sure that you create unique designs with these new products and you can actually protect these designs and sell them? And the challenge that they had was that how do they collaborate widely while preventing replication and preserving ownership? The model that they have is that they work with different partners, NGOs, and companies that want to do corporate social responsibility. So because of that, they needed to make sure that these partners are actually assisting them in protecting or not diluting the IP. This was the core challenge that they had. Another challenge that they had is the fact that they had informal and structured core, IP asset protection. So this was also the main challenge that they had. We discussed practical IP actions and, for example, the low-cost, high-impact type of IP protection, using trademarks across all the brands that they have so EcoHub, EcoCurrency, EcoLab, etc. We also discussed copyright notices because they do have materials where they run education workshops, and we talked about the importance of putting corporate signs on all their materials. We also discussed how they can identify and protect trade secrets from the logic itself, that how do they actually move from West to eco-currency. The logic itself can actually be protected by trade secret. And also IP is now embedded now, as we speak, in partner agreements to control the use and prevention of replication. And I had a chance to talk to them after the clinic to say, how has this impacted you in terms of how you move forward with your business? And they say that now they're actually implementing all what they learned within the process, and they're applying all corporate notices. For example, in the website, they have embedded IP in the partner agreements that they have in terms of ownership, in terms of exclusivity of how the other partners can actually work with others to avoid competition. And also they are currently engaging consultants and lawyers to execute the IP strategy. So they realize that this is something that they need help with, and they have moved on to work with lawyers and consultants to do that as we speak. And they're also moving towards structured operational IP management within the organization itself. And what is interesting is that right now, as we know in the region, especially in Lebanon, there's so much conflict going on, but they continue to deliver impact despite these conflict conditions. And we see that IP is being used as a tool, even in times of conflict, for resilience and how do they move forward in these conditions. They shared statistics on how they actually are helping thousands of people within their institution, and they have gone beyond to make even more partners. And it's actually incredible story to know that although they are nonprofit, they're doing sustainability, they are promoting resilience, they are having social impact. At the same time, they understand how IP can help them to be more sustainable. So that's it from me, and I'm thankful that I had to share this with everyone. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Rodina. It was very nice. Your example also is very nice, and it's nice to have the both sides of the feedback. It's very insightful, and you gave very concrete examples. Thank you so much. I think also we have Mariam who wants to say a word. Ms. Mariam Nofal, are you with us?
Hello, yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. I'm not sure why my video is not moving. Yeah, here I am.
Yes.
So first of all, it's so good to see all of you again. Thank you so much for inviting me. I prepared a very short word. I just like to start by telling you that when I first joined the clinic, I came with knowledge, practice, strategy. That's what I thought. But to be honest with you today, I learned far more from the entrepreneurs and the businesses I sat with than I could ever claim to have given them. So every founder who walked through the door brought a story, a problem, a product, a dream. So shout out to Qanina, Bioenergy, Zalij Invent, Al-Turba, and Masakin, and also to Green Alfaco, who unfortunately the CEO passed away before the initiation of the project. So each one reminded me why intellectual property is not just a legal tool. It's a bridge between ideas and impact. Whether it was protecting a craft, commercialization of a technology, or building a brand from the ground up, every conversation truly stretched my thinking in ways I did not expect. So it has been a true honor to be part of this initiative with WIPO and ESQA, two institutions that understand that innovation does not only happen in big labs or wealthy markets, it happens in small workshops, family businesses, and the minds of people who simply refuse to give up. The partnership did not end here. I'm proud to share that ESQA invited me to co-deliver a workshop on using AI in intellectual property for small and micro businesses, a topic I truly believe in and one that is becoming more urgently by the day. And speaking of that, what comes next? This clinic actually planted a seed. It inspired me to build something of my own, a startup focused on AI-based tool to help entrepreneurs, SMEs, and research institutions navigate their own IP journey with confidence and clarity. Because guidance should not be a luxury. I truly believe in that. It should be accessible. I also want to share that I'm now part of WIPO SME IP clinics in other parts of the world, and I carry this Arab chapter with me as the foundation of it all. So to WIPO, to ESQA, to the great startups that I worked with, thank you for trusting us with your ideas. This was not just a program, it was a community, and I'm really grateful to have been part of it. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Mariam. It was a pleasure to have you as a professional here. It was a pleasure to receive as well Rosena, Samia, all the experts that we had. This program was a very good cohort. All the companies as well. Now we are going to hear a bit more from opportunity from WIPO side. I don't know if one of my colleagues came already. Clara, sorry, Clara, are you here? It's okay. I think maybe she needs a few minutes. What about maybe sharing the fact that we want to do a survey of satisfaction for you? I'm gonna share here as well. 1 second. If I open this. And yes, so here we have a survey for satisfaction. It's destinated for the companies. Can you see it? It's a QR code. I'm also happy to share the link with you all by email and also by in the chat of the Zoom. So yes, take your time to just scan it if you wish. But as I said, I will share it in the chat. It's also an opportunity for you all if you have any question. I think we have also the link of Nirmin to register to participate in the Arab SME Summit in Iraq. If you have maybe any question, if you have something to share as well, it might be the right moment.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Thank you, Clara, to be here to share about the WIPO Global Awards, so our company here can learn a bit more about this opportunity. I'm gonna give you the floor. I also see before that one company, Omer. Do you want to share anything with us before this presentation?
No, just I have a question. Thank you, for support during all the program and all the mentors. For the Arab SMEs, actually, I registered before through the call, I think 3 months ago or so. Should we have to register again?
I think so. Nirmin, I don't know if you want to respond to this question, but I think it's a different link. Yes, I see her in the chat. She's responding. Indeed, I think it was different before and the situation it's changed a few times. So here it's a new link. So yes, please register again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Clara, I'll give you the floor.
Share my screen.
Yes.
Just confirm that you can see it.
Yes, perfect.
Perfect. Hi, everyone. So my name is Clara. I'm from the WIPO Global Awards team, and I'm very happy to be here with you today. Very quickly, I will introduce you to the WIPO Global Awards program, which is basically a program that recognizes and supports innovative companies like yours that are using IP to grow their business and to deliver a global impact. So as a small business, we know that you have a lot of opportunities to apply for and many incubators, accelerators, and other awards. So for us, it was important to explain you why we are so unique. So first of all, we are a prestigious award. As WIPO is the UN Agency for Innovation and Creativity, as a winner, you will receive an award from the UN. The second thing is probably that there are a lot of innovation awards on the market, but as the IP ecosystem authority, our award is innovation backed by IP. Third, we are truly international, meaning that all applicants are coming from 194 member states of WIPO, and when the winners are coming to Geneva, they are pitching their technology in front of delegates from 185 countries. And finally, our award is really business-centric, meaning we are judging your business, and the prize is really for business growth. In terms of structure, we have 10 companies that are winning the awards, and among these, we have all the sectors, meaning health, environment, agri-food, and creative industry and ICT. But as you are clean tech enterprises, for you, you would apply in the environment and the agri-food sector that are these categories here. Just a note to say that in our winners and finalist community, we have a lot of clean tech technologies that are coming both from the environment and creative industries, and also sometimes ICT. So you have all your chances. We have every year a special awards on the topic of the World IP Dating, and we also have 2 special mentions for the best woman entrepreneur and the best youth entrepreneur. Not going into details in here, but just to say that the WIPO Global Awards are experiencing a growing success. And just last year, we received 13,000 applicants, so it's quite competitive. The most important part of the presentation is probably why you should apply. So I'm going to go into details with these 3 benefits. The first thing is that our winners are coming to the WIPO assemblies. It's every year in July. And this is the opportunity to pitch in front of the 194 member states. You will be on the international stage, and you will be surrounded by international members. During this ceremony, we prepare a lot of communication assets that you will be able to reuse and that will be tailored to your company. that would be video, media toolkit, media press, and this sort of things. The second benefit is what we call the acceleration in business support. It's really the expertise part of the program. And that starts in Geneva when you come for the ceremony. We start with a 2-day workshop and a roundtable where you get a chance to see experts from WIPO, and we will do a little diagnostic of your IP and your IP assets, both to see IP to access for market and to access capital. So what we need to understand is that the WIPO Awards really starts after the ceremony, when we get a chance to match you with an expert, because the winners receive a 6 months tailored mentorship, and it's basically 25 hours of online mentorships. And I said tailored because we really try to match you with an expert that will help you access to market or access to capital. It could be the preparation of your FTO. It could be providing your investment pitch. So yeah, that's it. All year round, you will have online fireside chats with experts, which is basically a safe space for entrepreneurs that get the chance to discuss very interesting matters, and you can ask a very specific question about your case in terms of patent disputes, but it can be also in terms of freedom to operate. So yeah, another benefits. Okay, but beyond what WIPO has to offer to you, our goal is also to match you with one of our partners that will help you grow your business. And for example, in your case, in the environment sector, we have a partnership with CERN that basically help innovator experiment their technology, in real condition at the same village. But we also, as WIPO doesn't provide investment and capital directly, we also try to match our winners with interested investors. And we also have access to different products and services. For example, Amplified AI, which is a platform for patent landscaping. But also, winning the WIPO Global Awards, it's also being part of a community of business pioneers, because it's the 5th edition, so we have a lot of we have a strong relationship with all our winners and panelists. How to apply? That is also important. It's quite easy. It's only 1 hour of your time. You can submit your application online in 6 different languages. We have 2 categories, one for startup and one for SMEs. The difference between these categories is really the commercial readiness level, but within a maximum of 300 employees and maximum of 15 billion in annual revenues. Regarding the other eligibility criteria, since you have been part of this IP for business clinic, well, you should be eligible. What we are evaluating is 4 criteria. The first one would be how you protect your product and service, and also how your product and service fits in the market. So this basically the business case and your IP portfolio. The second one is how you use your IP to commercialize your work at the different regional or international level. The third criteria would be IP culture, which means how much your team and company value and use IP on your everyday work. And the last criteria would be how your work contributes to economic and social or cultural development. So we start the application period in January 15, and you will get to apply until March 31st. I know it's not the right period now, but we will definitely send you a reminder when it's time. However, if you are interested in seeing how the ceremony goes, the ceremony is approaching. It's on July 10, and you can join online. And if you're you might be inspired by our clean tech winners, which are quite interesting this year. This is it for the WIPO Global Awards presentation. So I don't know if you have any questions. Feel free.
Thank you so much, Lara, for telling us about these opportunities at WIPO and explaining a bit what are actually the awards and what you can gain if you win. So thank you so much. For all the participants today, for all the experts, thank you so much. So what is the thing to actually remember? So we have the link from ESQA to participate in the Arab SME Summit in November in Iraq. We have our link of the survey if you want to take the time and give us a feedback so we can maybe even progress on the way we're doing the program. If you have anything to do, how to improve it, and what was the best thing you had, and if you wish something was different, for example. And for us, this is it. Thank you to Fit Japan. Thank you to ESQA. Thank you all of our mentors, and we wish all the companies the best. Thank you all. That's it. Thank you for this edition.
Thank you, Roman. Thank you, Mathilde. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you so much, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.